KXAN's Candy Rodriguez is live in this part of down this morning after 2 nights in a row where it's been hit. Good morning, Candy.
Tom and Sally, good morning. Yeah, and I kind of want to paint the picture for you of where exactly this is. World Liquor and Tobacco is right here on 6th Street. It is a block away from I-35, the northbound lanes. It's on the east side here. And this is the same area where yesterday hundreds of protesters gathered to demonstrate. And for the most part throughout the day, very peaceful protesting, but that quickly took a turn late last night, and you can see just all the damage around me here at this store. This is one of the several businesses that was looted last night. We actually have the manager here with us, Adil Malik. You had to show up because your dad called you. He tells us it happened around midnight, and you're telling me it wasn't just one hit, but 2 hits.
2 hits, yes. So what happened was that my parents, they kind of woke up and, they're like, hey, Adil, come in the room. And I was a little shocked. I was about to go to sleep, and it was around that time, where usually everyone sleeps. So I went in the room, and my dad's like, yeah, so something urgent happened. I'm like, what happened? It's like really late at night. He's like, we had a breakthrough, and a robbery through in our store. And I'm like, oh, wow, like at this time, he's like, not just a robbery, like a really, like, crazy, bum rush of like so many people coming in, swarming out, in and out. And he called 911. He told the cops, hey, we need y'all's help. Be right there. We'll be there soon. And whenever my parents did come, they FaceTimed me and they showed me like all these cops standing. Literally, I could say around 10 to 15 cops just standing around and stuff. And it was crazy because my mom FaceTimed me, and she showed me all this, debris and stuff. And like this part right here, where you see the wooden part.
Oh, okay, the spot right over here?
Yeah, this one, and like it was all like broken and stuff, like, and like supposedly my uncle came all the way from Houston, 3-hour drive just to fix everything up. So in that sense, it's been a really crazy night.
Oh my goodness! And take us inside. Julie, our photographer, walked inside, and you were going to show us. I mean, if you see the damage outside, guys, you saw just shattered glass everywhere. That does not compare to the inside. Tell me about this, Adil.
Yeah, I came in. It was something I've never seen, and it's never happened ever in our store. We have a pretty good people, good customers come in, and we never have any robberies, anything extreme like this in this case. So it was a surprise for all of us. We came in, try to fix whatever we could, but it's been really difficult, for my uncle and my dad.
And you were telling me it's difficult for any business owner going through something like this, but the fact that you were kind of sharing your family's story with me about this business, tell me about it.
Yeah, my dad and his friend, they came here, in the 80s, like about 30 years ago, came here and for a dream, started their own business. And it took them a while to, get this point. They started this about 10 to 15 years ago, and they, bought it up, big sales and everything. And to see this, really, breaks my heart that, during these times, whatever is going on in the world, people are, thinking it seems, looting is the, it's the right thing to do, but it's not. We should be protesting in more, civilized manner. But, I guess, nowadays, it's just crazy. I've lost the words.
And walk me through again here. Let's go through let's go through one of these aisles and kind of show some of the damage. So when you walked in, you saw, just glass everywhere. Obviously, a lot of the bottles missing from people just running in and taking whatever they could get their hands on.
Yeah, definitely. For our security camera, we saw people coming in, going behind the register, going here, going in the back. Taking like 3 or 4 bottles at a time. People pushing, tripping. There was someone's lost slipper over there, so people were just coming barefoot in. So it was pretty crazy.
And the fact that it didn't happen once, it happened twice. So it happened at midnight, and then you guys came in, boarded it up, and then you got another call to come back.
Yeah, so another call, my dad, got a call by the police department and said, lady called, and she said, oh, there's another break-in in your store. You need to come, urgently. So, this time, my mom didn't go. It was me and my brother, and we both came in with my dad, and we saw all this, and we were like, wow. And they broke a whole gate that was, put on by my dad and the police officer. So them taking that down just shows that, wow, people are willing to do, go extreme measures to do all this.
Adil, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Guys, I'm going to send it back to you.
Candy, we saw police that were coming out of the store. Were they just there checking the damage? Did they make any kind of arrests? Where do we stand with that?
Yeah, at this point, they just came by because they actually got another alarm clock. They told us right before we went on air that they were just coming by to check in. And we're not exactly sure what they told the owners because it happened right before we went live, but they did tell us that the reason they came by is because they got another alarm, so they were coming in to just check.
And we're not sure, or Adil, I don't know if he was able to see that video closely, but we're not saying that these looters were part of the protests that gathered yesterday. We don't know, correct?
Of course, yeah, we don't know. Adil, do you happen to know, did police tell you anything about these looters potentially being part of the protest?
So they haven't said anything to us, but it could be a mix of protesters and just people just trying to loot. So I can't really say, but it's around like 25 or 30 people on the security camera. So it's a mix of people. I can't really say that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So at this time, it is still unclear, but of course, we'll be checking in with APD for that.
Right.
All right.
And before we let you go, Candy, what does the deal say as far as damages? How much is this going to cost his family?
They're still trying to calculate that. Adil, we were asking your dad too. How much do you feel like this damage could total to?
From the looks of it, I mean, the whole store is like broken down, so it could be, and definitely six figures, but I don't know how much, so it's a pretty hefty amount. I could say that.
That's tough, guys.
All right. Thank you so much, Candy, and send our best to Adil and his family as well.
This is the second store that Candy has been to over the weekend that has been looted.